back. Like an old hat.
What?
Like an old hat. We're back in studio. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the DNVR Nuggets Podcast.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Look at us, guys. We're back in studio, man. We're not in Vegas anymore.
I feel incredible.
Do you feel refreshed?
No, actually, I feel horrible.
You feel terrible?
If I'm being honest, like it feels like my body is full of rocks.
Ooh. Really?
It might be full of rocks.
It probably is.
I don't know what
That
happened.
is a feeling I hope I never have.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. So we got to watch a game yesterday. I'm officially. Here's my. I guess we can get to our takes here in a second. Let me introduce the panel. I got D-Line here.
What's up, guys? I love Nuggets basketball. I hope to never watch another summer league game from the Nuggets
tough break
ever
from
again.
you. Tough break.
I do love summer league, but it's difficult when you see the name of the squad you love so much on the front of something that is just so atrocious to behold.
This is like, a Star Wars spinoff or something. You're a Star Wars fan. And they're like, yeah, but it's cool. It's 7 hours. And you're like, I love Star Wars. I like the spinoffs, but maybe give me 30-minute spinoff.
Or just you're like, this show sucks.
Yeah,
and they're like, it's Star Wars. Isn't that cool?
If it was a crummy Star Wars and it was like 45 minutes, you'd be like, whatever. It's forever long. Over here, look at a man wearing a shirt that looks like it's his skin. It's Harrison Wind. Does he look naked on the broadcast?
He looks like he
Like a white shirt.
He looked exactly like this.
White shirt.
This is exactly what Harrison looked like at Stadium Swim.
I came to this show thinking the Nuggets only had one summer league game left. You told me they have two.
I think they do. I mean, I'm pretty sure they do. I think everybody gets a playoff game, and a playoff for them is just going to be consolation, it looks like. Stadium Swim, by the way, very popular amongst our audience. They really enjoyed Stadium Swim.
Really?
For the scenery.
Oh,
there was very good scenery.
Because they were like hot ladies and stuff going on.
Just walking around.
I thought it was our well-toned figures.
It wasn't watching us sweat live on the internet.
Man, the last couple minutes of Stadium Swim were really rough.
Hey,
the last
Kale,
10 minutes.
Kelly, why don't you pop your shirt off, get behind us, give people the same kind of view.
Just walk around back and forth for a little bit.
We're trying to get our
The thing I was going to say, though, about Summer League is that nobody likes Summer League more than me. Maybe Amin El Hassan, maybe Warren Legary, who makes a lot of money off of Summer League. Those two guys maybe like it more than me, but I'm third right there. But it is too long, man.
It's too long.
It's just too long. You go Friday, you're excited. Saturday, excited. Maybe a little hungover. Sunday, having a good time. Monday, it starts to die down, and that's when you get the real. You get a little bit more intimate. That's why I like to stay till Tuesday. Then you get home, and you're like, it's over. Summer League is over. No, it's halfway over. It's still going. And I'll say even basketball junkies like myself, watched the first game a second time. I felt great. Very excited.
Yeah.
Watched the second game. I was like, all right, some Easter eggs in there. Last night's rewatch, really a drag,
You rewatched that game last
I rewatched
night? Bro, you've got to have something better to do.
Dude,
I
You've
don't.
got to.
I don't.
I wasn't able to make
Come
it.
on.
I wasn't able to make it through a watch. I fell asleep.
You didn't make it through a watch. You
That
did fall
was
asleep.
the roughest game I've sat through since the Nuggets lost to the Houston Rockets late last season.
But it's really, to me, it's not. I mean, here's the thing. I always hear
That's a
people,
lie.
well, no, it's not. I mean, honestly, this is prospect watching. This is like we got to try to learn these guys. You only get a little hint at what's going on, and you got to learn something. And one of the things I said this on Locked On earlier today, but I'm going to repeat myself because I think it's an interesting point that. People talk about, there's nothing you can get from Summer League, man. Throw it all out. It's just for fun or this or that.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, every team sends every scout they have to Summer League to watch every team's player.
Yeah.
And all of Europe and all these other sub-league shows
people
up.
really say that?
Because I think there is something too. Like Christian Brown didn't make shots last year. And what I think it is that it's very, very difficult to extrapolate the correct information.
Yeah,
and it's very easy to over-index on small details.
It's also very easy to sit on Twitter and say none of this matters, so I'm not even paying attention to it. That's the easiest thing to do.
This is why I was just so adamant at the idea that you can't possibly look at a box score when you're talking about Summer League. Like that, you want to talk about the noisiest stats on planet Earth. It's like this guy is a plus, negative. Like what are we talking about? It's like you have to watch.
But that part I'm going to disagree with. Last night the bench negative 15.
Yeah, but
very obvious negative 15.
Well, but I'm
bench.
saying what do you actually? I'm talking about how, as it transfers to the next level, which is ultimately the point of this thing. Like there are players that pop because they look like they belong. They look better than everybody else.
Yep.
They look bigger, stronger, faster. They look smarter than everybody else. And you can pull that. You can be like, this guy is better.
Right.
He belongs at least to be given an opportunity to display it on the next level. And there's other guys you're like, this guy was dope in college, but like, okay.
Yeah, but there's also skill sets that do pop, to your point.
Sure.
Like Cam Thomas pops, and he popped in Summer League. And he's actually not a bad NBA player. He had some moments last year. But of course he pops. He's a shooter. He's quick. He's going to do those flashy things. And those things to me almost matter less. And this is why I rewatch him, Harrison. And you're right. Like it is a little excessive, But there is, like, on rewatch, you get to watch the development of plays, whereas everybody is just watching the ball mostly, and you're glancing at other things, but you're watching the ball and following this. And then when a play happens, a player gets blocked or throws it out of bounds or this or that, you can rewind it and say, okay, who's making the mistake? And we all know that Jokic, to go back to 2015, that was the thing with him. His numbers were like 11 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Right. And you look back and go, was he a great passer? But when you watch the tape, he had so many great potential assists that didn't turn into anything.
You throw it to a wide open Summer League player.
Yeah, exactly. He had a lot of Ian Clark. Or was it Ian Clark? Yeah, Ian Clark.
Dude, Ian Clark was like our MVP.
Yeah, he was. He was the MVP.
Was Ian Clark the Andrew Funk of this year?
No, because
Ian Clark won the MVP.
He won MVP?
Yes, dude. I don't want to.
He won MVP one year at Summer League.
He was so good.
I think he won MVP. I might have made that up. I'm pretty sure he made it.
Wow. I don't know. Even if he didn't make MVP, it was like it's what catapulted him onto the Warriors, which made me so jealous. I was like, oh,
they got Ian Clark. The one that got away. Yeah, the one that got away. But I thought for today's show, the thing that would be most interesting, because this is a little bit of a wrap-up show. We'll have a show tomorrow, but they won't play before we do a show tomorrow. They'll have a game Friday, and then who knows what they'll do with that final game. My guess is they rest a bunch of guys, and it's really the Cassius Stanley show, which is like, okay, not too excited.
A parade to the free throw line, you mean?
Maybe a parade to the free throw line. But I thought
he just gets to the line, Cassius Stanley.
But I thought
free throw attempts a game. That's crazy.
Rather, I think this would be a good chance to do a little bit of a stock report for all of the guys and kind of go one by one.
I always forget about this graphic, and I'm delighted and horrified in equal parts. Just kidding, way more horrified.
Jarring.
Oh, Jokic. But let's do the stonk report at the end. I'd rather spend time talking first about the game that we just witnessed and then more broadly about the skill set. But I'm going to start with Julian Strawther on this one. I just want to go in different orders, than we've gone before.
Let's mix it up for once.
Let's have some fun at it. I'm trying to have some fun. Julian Strawther, I thought, had his best game as a Nugget in Summer League. He goes for 21 points, grabs 3 rebounds, does not record another stat other than 1 foul. 3 of 11, including a Sombor shuffle at the
buzzer
end.
beater.
A buzzer beater Sombor shuffle.
Yeah, this is the part you were sleeping for. I think.
You didn't see this?
Damn it. That's the worst part is that after this was over, I was like, guys, I need help with grades because I didn't see anything.
I mean,
and you guys were like, red. I was like, what did I sleep through?
I will say
we're being very generous with these grades.
It was not a Sombor shuffle. I just have to say.
Well, first of all,
it was not. Come on.
Technically, it was.
No, it wasn't.
But it was more of a falling over, right foot, right hand. But it was not on. It was an accidental Sombor shuffle.
Disrespectful to the Sombor
shuffle.
That's
clearly called a Strawther shuffle.
Yeah. No, somebody said it's if it's not a player from Sombor, it's a sparkling shuffle, which I love.
Sparkling? Is that what
Instead of champagne, it's sparkling wine.
I see.
This is a sparkling shuffle. It wasn't a real Sombor shuffle, but he did shoot it off his right hand and right leg. And it was totally accidental. He banked it in. So really, he went 2 of 10 with a 3 at the buzzer.
Whatever.
For 18 points.
Red ball status.
But here's why I nominated him for red ball status, and nobody interjected. The guy played really hard, and this is going to sound like a backhanded compliment.
It already does.
I think he went 7 of 30 something from 3 in this.
Okay.
And he kept shooting, and that alone is impressive. Like, to miss that many shots, he didn't do the Tyler Lydon. He
stopped shooting.
He did the Julian Strawther and just kept letting it fly. But he also got to the rim, Harrison, and he got to the foul line. So, for me, we're being a little generous because he does need to make shots, but at least I'm impressed with the mental toughness it took to do what he did through these 3 games.
Yeah. Speaking of Calvin Booth at Summer League, one thing he said that stuck out to me was, I love to watch shooters when they're not making shots.
Yeah.
And
I did catch that. He's like, I like guys. Guys aren't making shots.
You got to draw it out longer. Hey, guys.
That's spending any time with Calvin Booth. Like, that is the one word I would use to summarize Calvin Booth conversations.
Guys.
I love it.
But anyways, he got to watch Julian Strawther play a lot while missing shots at Summer League, and I agree. I think he played really hard. He competed, and especially on the defensive end, man, because there were a lot of questions about his defense in the draft and was the main reason why he was projected to go in the second round by most people. But he competes. He plays hard on defense. He'll get lost a lot off ball. I don't really know if he knows what he's doing defensively yet, but on the ball, hustle plays. I mean, he broke his face open twice in 2 games.
That's pretty wild.
That's pretty good.
That's unprecedented in Summer League.
Yeah. So I love the way he competed, particularly on the defensive end. I just love the effort he played with. He's not just a shooter. It seems like he definitely wants to be more than that.
Are we sure he is a shooter?
Well, actually, he's actually not a shooter. Is the thing. That's very surprising to me. What about you, D-Line?
About Strawther
I guess you didn't watch last night, so there's not a whole lot to take away.
Yeah, it's difficult for me to tell. But I will say that he started. We're talking about Strawther specifically.
Correct.
He made a shot or two to start off the game. So I was like, okay, all right. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you want to see guys' skill sets that they are reported to come in with pop, right? Like, you want to see a shooter be able to, ratchet up in what I imagine for them is the pressure is higher. I got to think that it is something that it's like, even though the setting to us in some ways is kind of like a joke, or to some would be like, it's like this tiny little gym, but I got to think they feel all eyes on them, in a way that maybe they haven't felt before.
Especially Strawther from Vegas. Probably had tons of friends and family at every game.
Yeah.
I mean, the game last night, it was probably the crowd in Cox Pavilion was probably made up of mostly Strawther's friends and family.
Right.
If I had to guess, there weren't probably that many people in the gym for that.
In the gym.
And I think that actually probably makes it more like stressful.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You had a lot of eyes on him.
You want to feel like you're, like these are all people that have supported you your whole life. You want to make it feel like their sacrifice has been worth it. So, larger point being, when he comes out, he hits a couple shots. He's starting to settle in a little bit. I'm like, okay, that's good. Like, we're seeing, for me, always watching these teams and just players and guys is that, like, I need to see progression.
Yeah.
I need to see improvement. Like, I can live very comfortably with the fact that a guy is not playing well so far as he shows the capacity for a much higher ceiling. And then we can figure out if he can actually get there. Then it becomes about the system, the coaching, the whatever, whatever. But, like, I want to see, like, actual potential. And, like, if it starts to die off with one ratchet up of the difficulty scale, which is Summer League, that's where you're like, okay, this is not looking right.
So he took the second most threes at Summer League in volume, in total volume. A couple guys had more per game in 1 game outings, but of the guys that played 3 games, he took the second most, and he shot 24% on them. So it does show you, first of all, getting shots up is a skill in and of itself.
Yeah.
Your ability to find openings and to get those off. He only had 8 rebounds. I talked about him playing out of position. He was billed as a very good rebounder, and like you start to piece together, okay, he's a good shooter, he has a good floater. What else does he have? Well, he's really tall, he rebounds well for his position, he does these things. He played out of position, so I'm inclined to give him a little bit of a pass on the rebounding, but I do wish that's one thing that would have popped a little bit more, that you could say, how is he as a defender? Well, he rebounds really well, so he'll fit in there. We didn't really see that, and it was something that was actually needed as the Nuggets were hemorrhaging rebounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, they were a bad rebounding team. Holy cow.
He was, though. Tell me you don't like plus minus in Summer League. He was a +1 overall.
Well, now I like it. I like it.
And a team that was 0-3. Well, I only say that to say this. You can't really look at box score stuff too much. The Nuggets had a really bad bench, man. And I'm
bad.
It's good.
They were down 25. Yeah, it's good that they practiced.
It's good to get them prepped for that.
This Nuggets Summer League team resembles the actual team in so many ways. Just a terrible bench. The starters, they have to like go all out to get back in the game in the second half. We got 5-man bench lineups out there together. It was a rough scene.
Yeah, they could be like, listen, this is exactly what it's like when you're on the Nuggets.
Yeah,
the
just
stars are
getting
great,
them ready for
and then you, the bench, suck. And
But in all sincerity, like last night, they were down 25 at one point. It felt terrible, but I kept thinking like, I don't feel like the starters are playing that bad. That bench unit was just such a horrible, stretch.
The Stars got off to a rough start.
They got off to a little bit of a rough start.
It was pretty rough.
Let's talk strategy.
But when I went back and watched it, there was a lot of. I mean, Utah started like 7 of 8 from 3 or something.
Oh my
They
God,
made a lot of threes to start the game.
I can't believe how close that game was. By the way, Utah destroyed Denver in that game.
So you saw that, and then you saw the final score.
Well, what I caught was whole first half. And then my body was like, "Bro, we can't do this."
You did catch the worst part.
And then I caught and then through like a lucid dream state, I caught like the last minute when things really heated up.
All right, so we got to do it now. Julian Strawther, is his stock in your mind up or down from 3 games ago?
I'll go up.
Your stock's up, man.
Wow.
We're both down. I mean, for me, you got to make shots.
Got to make shots.
And he didn't make shots.
I mean, I'm not worried about him as a shooter at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all.
For me, it's not about the made shots. It's just like, I kind of want, he just didn't pop to me that much. That is not saying that his story has been written. Obviously, he's a draft pick and he's a guy that the front office believes in. But I didn't come away as impressed as I hoped to be, having no information about him going in.
Yeah. By the way, play along with us in the comments here. I want to see what everybody else.
Yeah. By the way, that means you have to print out up and down arrows and take a photo of yourself.
Use
and
the emoji.
Stock
Going up, stock going down. Let us know. So when you're not at all, you're up on him after Summer League.
Yeah, because I liked how he competed. I liked his motor.
It's a good take.
I liked how engaged he was defensively. Again, I don't know if he knows what he's doing defensively, but he tried. And so I just got the sense that he wants to be more of a shooter, and I'm just very confident he's going to make shots in the NBA. Like, his shot is great. I'm just not worried about that. I like the other aspects of his game that he flashed.
Yeah. I think those are fair things, but at the same time, when your number one skill is shooting, I want to see you have one good game. And by the way, the looks he got, good looks, man. This isn't a matter of like, there was no offensive flow, and so he had to jack up some bad ones. He had some A++ looks that did not go in. But I'm with you. I will split the difference here. I would probably go more, I'm neutral on Strawther than stock up, stock down, in part because I was kind of low on him coming in. But he did the opposite of what I expected. I expected him to make shots but not do other things.
But be Jordan Poole.
He missed shots, but he did hustle, and I do like the fact that I thought he tweaked his game as each game went on. First game, I thought he tried to play the pretty game. It didn't work. Second game, I thought he tried to fly around. And third game, I thought he tried to get to the rim, and he did a good job of getting to the rim in this last game. I've been saying he goes to that floater a little too much rather than go. This game, he got to the foul line, 6 free throw attempts, and he had a couple finishes at the rim where, honestly, I thought he was fouled on a couple of his takes where he finished it and they didn't get the call.
Well, the refs at Summer League are
what a bunch of crooked bastards.
Terrible, man. I mean, I know they're like refs in training or whatever, but my God. You could have reffed it better. You could have gone out there, thrown on a shirt with a number on it.
I think I would surprise a lot of people. I think I would surprise a lot of people if I stepped out there in the striped shirt.
And you get 10 fouls, so you can just hack everybody.
That's true.
That's also a ridiculous rule.
No, it's not.
I think it is.
No way. I love it.
You can just hack everybody.
I don't think anybody abuses it.
They were hacking Wembanyama. I'll tell you that.
Well,
they probably will.
That is annoying. That part is annoying. But I'm saying
the 10 fouls I think is ridiculous.
I don't, because the only reason I don't is because 6 fouls. To me, like, you have a good prospect and he gets a couple chippy ones, and then you're like, wait, so we don't get to watch this guy? And it's happened before, like with good players.
Learn how to play without fouling. It's a shorter game, also.
It's Summer League, man. We're trying to evaluate these guys. There have been guys that fouled out, by the way.
We're playing for a championship here, a Summer League championship.
Harrison's ready to die on this hill. Too many fouls in Summer League.
There are.
I will say the review. The Nuggets were down 20 points, and they reviewed a block charge call, and I was just like, what are we doing? It's Summer League. It's a 20-point game. Who challenged? I'm actually mad at the Utah bench for challenging this one, man. JB, by the way, did not challenge what I thought would have absolutely been an out-of-bounds play for the Nuggets on their comeback. Instead, they score on the baseline out of bounds. It was a crucial one, and I can't believe I'm mad that JB didn't use a challenge.
JB, what are you doing? We could have had something special. You were asleep at the wheel. We'll never forgive you.
Oh, man, I will say JB does have that Jordy Fernandez look in his eye, though. What did he say when we were at practice the other day? The only thing I care is when I get one win. I just don't want to go over.
Well, we got a rematch with the finals rematch with the Miami Heat coming up.
Oh, wow, big matchup.
Jamal might be in town.
Yeah, he's
Christian Brown said during the last game that if the Nuggets lost, he was going to put on his jersey.
Hey, let's do it.
So, jersey's coming on.
And watch them lose from the stands wearing a jersey.
All right, let's take a break. On the other side, let's get into who I think has been the best player from Summer League. You heard it, man. The best player, Hunter Tyson. Hunter, what? He's been great in Summer League.
I mean, I agree, but what? You're saying, well, okay.
Well, he's not my favorite player, but I mean, look, the dude is putting up buckets. He's played great.
We'll get there.
When you get hurt, Baxton Shanker is here to help. Baxton Shanker wins for Colorado families. They've been helping those seriously injured in Colorado for more than 25 years. And the coolest thing about Baxton Shanker is you don't pay them any money until they win your case. No upfront fees. Speak with them about your case. No fees while they work on your case. No fees unless they win your case. And they've been winning a lot of money. They've won over $1 billion for their clients. And they've got neighborhood offices in Denver, Aurora, Englewood, and Fort Collins. Baxton Shanker helps with all kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault. Car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrians, trucks. They can even help you if you're injured at work. Give them a call today, 303-222-2222 to find out if you have a case for free. Baxton Shanker with 30 lawyers and 100 staff members. It's a lot of people. They just win. Also, guys, Bet365. Bet365, they pioneered live in-game betting. I mean, we all use Bet365 a lot.
I used it actually for the first time the other day. Lost. Bet on the Nuggets.
I gotta say, have you seen their feature where you're able to follow along in a game?
No, I haven't.
It's literally the best version of that I've ever seen.
Really?
Yes. It, like, if you're just like, you're not able to watch, but you bet on it.
Yeah, if you live in Denver, trying to watch the Nuggets.
This actually is a good alternative to watching Nuggets game. No, like the ball, like it shows the ball as it gets passed around.
Really?
Yeah, dude. And then it like shows who has the ball, and then it's like a shoot. Like, I mean, I was like, what? This is unbelievable.
I mean, you don't even need to ditch Comcast. You can just watch on Bet365.
Yeah, forget it, man.
Bet365. They also live stream. I don't think this counts as the live stream, but they live stream 780,000 events each year.
What?
80 million users worldwide, proud partner of your Colorado Rockies. And they also have these really cool market boosts where you're located, it actually gives you a market-specific boost. So if you're located in Colorado, I know they've had a boost on there recently for the Nuggets to win the championship. They've upped those odds so you get an even bigger payout if the Nuggets win it next year. Wherever you're located, they've got boosts for you. Turn $1 into $200 of bonus bets when you join Bet365. Yeah. Download the app, deposit $10, claim your $200 in bonus bets as soon as you place a bet for $1. Download the Bet365 app. Use code DNVR365 when you sign up. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, back here, segment 2, DNVR Nuggets Podcast. And now we're talking about, I was surprised at how surprised you were. If you talked about all the players who have outperformed expectations the most in Summer League, to me, it's an easy question. The number one guy is Hunter Tyson, who we all kind of, all right, we don't know anything about this guy, whatever, Hunter. He comes out here, man, and first of all, the motor stuff, absolutely real.
Yep.
When they build that, you think, like, honestly, man, like, if somebody tells you, like, what is the best player? He tries so hard.
That's what we all said about Julian Strawther one segment ago.
What's that?
We're like, oh, he didn't play well.
Exactly. That's what you would think. A guy that maybe doesn't have skills, but he goes out there and plays long.
That wasn't what Julian Strawther was known for. That's the difference.
I agree with you.
Yeah. But Hunter Tyson, it was billed as that, and you think, well, that's an underwhelming thing to say about a player, right? He plays hard. And then, shooter, this or that. Exactly as advertised. That guy's hard effort and motor and those things are a real weapon to him because he actually is not matched in that department. The way there are players like this that their skill is they just outwork you. He's one of those guys, but his fit, to me, how smart he is, his cutting, the way he's able to get to his shot. I mean, he took 23s himself, shot 40%, goes 8 of 20. His ability to find open seams and stuff, it really stood out to me, and I couldn't be more impressed. Hunter Tyson, to me, is an exciting prospect now, and I loved what I saw.
Dude, he was awesome. I had no expectations, nothing. I mean, I didn't have the benefit of the rigorous draft preparation that you fellas did, where you all just
It was rigorous.
We were in the mines just hammering film day after day. But I didn't. So I didn't. I was like, well, we'll just see where the chips fall. We're worried about winning this chip right now. And he was the third of the three, and it was like, okay, he felt like a deep second round pick. When in reality, he was he a second rounder or first round technically?
Second rounder.
But,
He was 40th.
but an early, 40th. Okay, but point being, like, I just didn't think to be excited about him for one reason or another, and he just absolutely delighted me. I was like, this guy's awesome. I love this guy's game. I love his attitude. I love the fact that he is a hustler. I love that his shot is falling. I love that he is getting in there. He's getting rebounds on a team that nobody is getting rebounds
6.7 rebounds per game.
Yes.
A good number.
He had 12 last night.
Yes, and what I was left with most often was like, I wish he would shoot the ball more, man. Like, there were times where he was passing up a lot of three. He did a lot of head fakes and would drive, and I was like, that's cool. Just let it fly, though. Your shot is great.
He's got a nasty shot fake.
Yes. So I'm very excited about what Hunter Tyson represents to the Denver Nuggets and where his ceiling might lie. I mean, the Nuggets, I mean, it seems like the smartest strategy that the previous regime and now this current regime has implemented, which is like, you in the later rounds, like, pick guys that are like 4-year players out of college that have had the opportunity to mature, that have had we're not talking about like the super young stuff about, new players that show up on teams. You have to like go through the headaches. Monte Morris, Hunter Tyson, like these guys that are like, they've been around in their season. And even though,
people forget Monte spent his rookie year in the G League.
Yeah.
So as much as he was was he a 4-year player? A 4-year player. So he was polished. He still had to do 1 year of seasoning.
I love it though.
So Hunter might have the same thing, but that's just part of the plan.
Yeah, we don't need him at this moment.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, big ups for me on him.
Yeah, the motor's the first thing that stood out to me over these last 3 games. When the Nuggets brought Hunter Tyson in for a pre-draft workout, they were like blown away by how hard he went in that workout. Because that's the thing about pre-draft workouts when you bring guys in. Like, guys might not shoot the ball well, blah, 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 but you can always tell how hard they go. And just from talking to people around the team, like, he went hard. Like, he played his ass off in this pre-draft workout. And they were like, all right, like, we believe in it now. And that totally translated to Summer League. I mean, he played his ass off. And you just got to love how he goes out there and just hoops, man. Like, he looks like he just rolled out of bed. His hair's all messed up. Like,
I love it, dude.
He's not wearing, like, anything under his jersey. He just goes out there and hoops, man.
Yeah, he doesn't ball. He hoops.
Yeah, and you can play him in, like, any lineup, and he can play a bunch of different positions and play with any different type of player next to him. He's just a player, He just hoops.
He really is Woody Harrelson in White Man Can't Jump. 100%. That's it.
No way. He also, he's the only guy that came off the bench of the main guys. The rest of them started, including Kamagate. He was the one that basically got the 6th spot, right? Like, you're going to have to come in and we'll give you the least minutes, the worst minutes. We're not building anything around you. And for him to be able to take that and say, yeah, it's fine because I fit in everywhere and I'm going to make an impact just through energy and effort. Huge kudos to him. I think Michael Malone's going to love him. I think Jokic is going to like him.
The bro from Monroe? Of course he's going to love him.
The Monroe Menace, man. Come on, the Monroe Menace. I think those guys are going to like it. I think the vets are going to like and respect him because he does seem to just know, like, I just got to play hard at all minutes.
Yeah.
And he's a smart player. Like, I never thought Hunter Tyson was in the way.
No.
You know what I mean?
I was like, get more in the way.
Because he just knows how to play basketball.
Right.
He just does.
So for me, and then you look at, okay, so where does he fit into the Nuggets? I mean, the starters are obviously set. You go to that second unit and you go, okay, Reggie, point guards, pencil him in with Pickett probably trying to steal minutes as the season goes on. You've got Christian Brown locked into the shooting guard spot. I think you have Peyton Watson locked into the small forward spot, at least to start the year. And that means we have the Zeke, Najee, Vlatko, Chanchar 4-5.
Yeah.
He's more of a 3 than he is a 4.
Yeah.
Is there a world in which they try to play small and play him at the 4 sometimes and then just one of those other 2? Maybe. But I think that he has an uphill battle to fight in terms of getting those minutes.
I don't expect him this year at all for the Nuggets.
But I do, just in that I think everybody's going to play it a little bit. It probably won't be much, but everyone's going to get that, like, 3-game sample size where they just get to go out there and see what they got. And it won't be. I'm with you though. the broader point, which is I don't expect him to like earn a spot in this year's rotation. Do you, Wind?
No, I don't. Not off the bat. Definitely not. I'd agree with that.
Even though small forward is a spot that's the thinnest on the Nuggets roster, you have Michael Porter Jr., who's really more of a 4 than he is a 5. And then you have Peyton Watson, who's a true 3. You have Justin Holiday, who I don't think they expect to play a ton of minutes, but he's there if you need him.
I bet he'll play a lot, man.
I mean,
I'm telling you, Jeff Green had no business playing as long and as much as he did. And he did because Michael Malone likes security. And we can all get mad about it, but we just want to chip, baby. So how mad can we be?
All right, Hunter Tyson, stock up or down?
Oh, my God. Way down. I hate that guy.
He's the easiest one.
We should maybe start with this.
No, I like the end. I like the end. I like the end. Some of these guys are a little bit more tough than others. Hunter was the easiest one. I mean, come on. Hunter. Also, he just seems like a likable guy, too. I kind of enjoy, him. I'll enjoy having him around. And I do like a country guy. Hunter.
Do you think you'll challenge him to a game of bags at some point?
Do you want to play bags?
Not me.
Do you think he can play bags?
His name's Hunter Tyson. Of course he can play bags.
Is this a stereotype? People from the country play bags?
But he doesn't play bags. He plays cornhole.
Oh.
Is it a stereotype?
I don't know. This is
You don't
new to me.
think you don't think that bags cornhole originated with a bunch of people standing like with trucks around in a parking lot?
No, it did. I mean, I think you're right.
Of course I'm right.
Horseshoes to me sounds more country. Like horseshoes is like
they're
you're.
both very country.
I think he might beat me at horseshoes.
Well, listen.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. No way he's beating me at bags.
Can I tell you? Do not play Jokic in horseshoes.
He's probably
He will annihilate.
He's great. He's great at horseshoes. He's
definitely
elite
great.
at horseshoes.
All right. Let's take another break. We're at 32 already, Cal. All right, let's take another break.
You're always surprised. You know what it is? We enjoy each other's company. You know?
We're really gonna have to just run through the bench quickly.
We've only got 2 more players that I think are that interesting to break down.
We're not gonna do Armand Franklin. Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. Make sure to check out the Mountain Beach Sour. It is summertime. You're probably chilling on a patio, watching a Nuggets Summer League game. Make sure you have a Mountain Beach Sour ready to go. Great for any occasion. Make sure to check out all our favorites from Breckenridge Brewery. The Avalanche Amber, the Vanilla Porter Jr., the Juice Drop IPA. They have good company hard seltzers as well, if that's your thing. If you don't know where to get Breck Brew, check out the Breck Brew Beer Locator on their website. That'll tell you where to get Breck Brew. Just type in your zip code. That will tell you where to go. Make sure to check out the Mountain Beach Sour from Breckenridge Brewery. Also, make sure to check out IV Nutrition of Wash Park. They are located at the corner of Wash Park or near Wash Park, corner of Alameda and Downing. Anybody who mentions DNVR when they come in gets 50% off their first IV nutritional drip. Give them a call, 720-259-4404. We've all been there. It's IV nutrition. We all got hooked up with IVs, sat in the zero gravity chairs, relaxed, listened to the great music that they got always playing there. It's a great time. It's a great experience. Stop by their Wash Park location, corner of Alameda and Downing. If you mention DNVR when you come in, you're going to get 50% off your first IV nutritional drip. That's a huge discount. Call 720-259-4404 for more information.
Alrighty, back here, segment 3. Now let's move on to my guy, Jalen Pickett. In last night's game, I thought was an interesting one because to me, his first half was somewhat underwhelming. He was tasked with running that horrible second unit, as was Collin. They kind of swapped, but they both played minutes. And the wheels came off during his first stint with Franklin and Sims and Cassius Stanley and that group. The wheels first came off. He finishes the game. He gets 12 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 blocks. He is one of those guys that even when you were watching him going, he's left something to be desired. He still somehow leads the team in every category.
Right.
Very Nikola Jokic-esque.
Very Nikola Jokic-esque. And helped stage a comeback that came up just short because I thought he took over the game, in the second half.
What we could have had, they just would have gotten over that hump. We got the dub against the Jazz. You know what I mean? Like,
the Jazz. But the things to me that stand out, his shot looks a lot better than I think we expected. I mean, it looks good. He made him at a high rate. And then I thought it was funny. Last night he only takes 1 3. He played a ton of minutes, and it just was different. Like the texture of the game called for something else, and he didn't take threes like he had in the previous games. When he ran the offense through booty ball, it was very successful.
Why is everybody afraid to say booty ball?
I don't know. It's not that weird.
Why is everybody afraid on ESPN to say booty ball?
Like it's
just say it, booty ball. And it's not that bad.
It's coaches, front office. Like nobody will say booty ball.
What's wrong with saying booty ball?
It's not. People think it's unflattering or this or that, or like it's like it's a bad word or something.
Juvenile.
Is it juvenile?
Yeah,
no, it's not.
Is it?
Yeah. You're asking the question. I'm answering it.
No, I know, but I'm saying
Why are they afraid? Because they feel it's juvenile to say that.
But do you think it's juvenile?
I don't love it. I don't want to be put in a position where I have to draw 2 basketballs that say booty ball on them. Like I don't want to make that shirt.
Yeah, 2 basketballs. Well, good.
See, look at this already. D-line make a booty ball shirt.
I'm glad you've at least thought it out in your head already.
Of course, I think everything out. Like I'm like, all right, can this be a thing? I'm like, do we? I want to put my effort into making booty ball a thing. I do not.
We got to rebrand it as something else if he starts playing because it's too good and it really is a unique style. But my point,
people are trying to call it bully ball. No, it's booty ball.
Let's call it like the picket fence.
This is terrible. I thought his team defense was phenomenal. It's the thing that stands out to me the most. And why I wouldn't be surprised if he played minutes. Team defense is probably the single most important. Can you get on the court or not? Do you mess up rotations or do you read the court well? The area where I thought he was underwhelming was he didn't always take over the offense. And even when he was playing off of Collin, you could say, hey, well, he didn't want to step on a guy's toes. To get on the court for the Nuggets next year, he's not going to be given the ball and told, like, hey, you run everything. He has to earn that. Jokic wasn't given that early on. He had to play within a system. So for me, the one area I was underwhelmed, and it's a big area, is I do feel like he was a bit passive in taking over control of the team. He did in every single game in the fourth quarter, for what it's worth, so maybe that's something encouraging. But I do feel like there was a little bit where it's like you could be better than this with the ball in your hands, or you can take the ball in your hands a little bit more.
I feel like he did in the third quarter too.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because he did, I think, because they switched up the rotation in this game for the first time all summer league.
Yeah.
Because what's been happening, Collin Gillespie and Jalen Pickett start the game together. The first sub, or one of the first subs, is taking Jalen Pickett out. So when Jalen Pickett comes back in, he's playing point guard around a lineup of 4 bench guys.
Yeah.
The difference.
They're bad too.
the bench is
Mark Smith
god-awful.
Mark Smith in particular, who could be a good player, but they go from playing Collin and Pickett as point guards to Mark Smith, who's even shorter, and they somehow get shorter off the bench.
Yeah, but what happened last night was they switched up the rotation for the first time all summer league, where Collin was the first sub in the second half. So Jalen Pickett was playing point guard midway through the third quarter with an actual competent lineup around him.
With Hunter.
And that's when that run really started. And I actually came away from that second half thinking, if they just gave this guy the keys and played booty ball for the entire summer league, they might be 3-0.
Yeah.
Maybe not, and maybe yes. I mean, I can see why they don't want to do that. They want Collin to run the show a little bit. They want to feature these other guys. But if they played the Jalen Pickett brand of basketball and just let him conduct everything, I feel like they'd be a much better team than they are right now.
Is that a realistic expectation for him ever, though?
What's that?
To have a situation where the entire offense is fully catered around to his style of play.
I mean, yes, because he's a point guard. Because catered around sounds more like he's looking for his shot. It really is just more like he's organizing things.
He's running the
show. He almost looks unsure about organizing it at times because he's like, well, I just want to keep moving.
So you're saying this is just more a product of the fact that they had 2 point guards and he was deferential to Collin for a long period of time. But
and a second layer to this, which is, for him to succeed, he needs to be better at being off ball than he was, I think, in this one.
Fair.
He looked passive even in that role, like not finding his seams when the ball.
And look, it's tough to commit to that because he's a unique player.
Yeah.
He's unorthodox. He's backing a guy down on one side of the floor while everybody else is spaced together. It's not typical offense. So I get why in a summer league setting they're not totally letting him run the show.
They're not focused on booty.
Right. But if they actually did,
they focused on booty?
They might be 3-0.
Let's go, dude. Especially in Vegas, you know what I mean?
What's your read on Pickett after watching him for 2.5 games?
I think that there are very interesting things about about Jalen Pickett. I love how he's able to finish when he just like kind of waits for the guy to drop off or to shift focus, and he's really shifty. He has really good touch around the rim, and his shot, I feel like, is always going in. He's super crafty. I am not fully convinced at this exact moment in time he's going to be able to replicate it in the NBA when everybody is bigger and stronger, but I'm not out on him by any stretch. I definitely see like what the interest is with him, and I see like why, especially on a team like the Nuggets that has just absolutely hit the highest heights possible in believing in unorthodox style of play, that they would have interest in him, because it's a little bit strange when it's your point guard and he's so small. You know, like he really is a lot shorter than I expected. He really at 6'2", I'm sure you're right about this. Like, and so it gave me a little pause to worry about, like, okay, like can you have the bully side of the booty in the NBA?
I will say, though, he knocked over that maniac guy from the Hawks, who's their center, the big bearded white guy. Yeah. He knocked him over.
Yeah, he might. I mean, listen, I'm not a tall guy. I know I can knock a lot of big guys over.
With your booty.
Yes, or my belly, or whatever. Like I have a low center of gravity. Like this is like a like a fullback in the NFL. Like he's stout. He's not huge though. So I'm super in, but like he has a very wide stance, which makes him like more sturdy. Truly, like so I get that. Like
he would be like an English bulldog if he was a dog.
There are physical things that make sense to this.
You didn't like that one?
No, it's perfect.
It is, right? It's got almost like the bow leg.
So
and
why do we call it English bully ball? Why do we got to be booty ball? I can't.
Bulldog ball?
Or just bully ball. You call him a bulldog bully. Anyway, whatever. I see what you saw, Adam.
I see it. Yeah.
I'm not to the level that you are with him, because I'm not convinced about the next level, but I do see what you saw.
I see it too.
Yeah, I really love his game. I love his high IQ. He did go 4 of 8 from 3, and I kind of love I think those are the perfect numbers.
Yeah.
That he took only 8, but also took 8, which is a lot, just not a ton.
Yeah.
And then he made him. And it's like Jokic. Is he a great 3-point shooter? Unclear, but he certainly knows when to take him and when not to, right? And that's part of the
And the most
build.
important thing, I cannot believe I forgot to mention this. I love his look.
He does have a good look.
I love the headband.
Yeah, he does have. You're right about this. This is a great take.
His shorts are also like, God, they got to be extra small.
Dude, he wears the tights with the. You're right. This is a great take. He does have his look down.
Because he seems like kind of like
an MMA fighter. He looks like he's getting into the octagon.
There's that, but he also had kind of an old school like feel about him.
Yeah.
I bet Michael Malone's father, who I don't know if you guys knew this, was
Brendan
the
Malone,
architect of the Bad Boy Pistons.
Hey man,
he would probably appreciate
Michael Malone's father has experience winning back-to-back NBA championships.
There you go.
Anyway, I know you're watching Jalen Pickett. You look great out there.
I think he's found it. If we go to next year, though, I do think that he is almost certainly going to be slotted behind Reggie Jackson even after training camp, no matter how he plays. And I think that's the right thing, because he is such a unique player that if you hand him something early on to a championship team, I do think it's disruptive. I think he is a guy that has to earn it, even a little extra than the other guys.
Yeah.
Because to run point, you have to really earn it. And guys like Reggie Jackson. So I think he is a guy that will get opportunities to play this year more than even a Hunter Tyson, I think, just by nature of like the guard. That he'll be the first guard up once anybody gets hurt, so he'll get those opportunities. And I do think there's a chance that he overtakes Reggie Jackson at some point throughout this season. Yeah. Whether or not it happens, it's still a long shot, I would say. But
I'll tell you, like, if he does, that's a very good sign.
It means he's playing great. It means he's playing really well. Or it means Reggie Jackson was so terrible. It's horrible. Let's get to Collin Gillespie here.
I think we're up on Jalen Pickett.
Yeah, we're up on Jalen. I mean, I can't really. I'm actually down from where I was coming into it because I was the highest I could be.
Trade Jokic. Gotta find out if this guy has brothers or anyone else in the league.
But I am still extremely high on him, and I still am staking my bet that he is going to make it on this team and be a piece of it going forward. Collin Gillespie. I give Collin, of all of the players, I think I give him the biggest pass because he just looked to me like a guy coming back from injury. And that's my first note. Some of the stuff we're going to judge him on, I'm just like, man, imagine if Jamal Murray got hurt. That was his first year, and he was coming back.
Jokic is like, it's going to take 20 summer league games for Collin Gillespie.
Man, at the end of that, just Collin Gillespie and Andrew Funk passing it to one another. Nobody in the gym.
You know, he did make 31% of his threes, which is not the best number, even though he went 5 of 8 in a game. So he did have some cold shooting games. He did get 3 assists to 3 turnovers, which isn't it also. Oh, no, he had 3 rebounds. Actually, he had more assists, more turnovers than assists. That's a little wild.
That's concerning.
And then I would say he looked a little small. So for me, it's weird to judge it. But I will say right now.
But I'll do it.
Well, I just will say right now, he's not in the Kamagate category where I'm just like, I've kind of like erased him from my mind about where I project. But he
seems like the Nuggets Summer League team has also.
But to me, Collin Gillespie's on the doorstep of that, where I'm kind of, I'm certainly would bet against him being a piece for the Nuggets anytime soon. But because of the injury, I'm willing to just kind of say, hey, give him some time.
Yeah, I mean, definitely feels like he's been passed by Jalen Pickett. That seems like it happened really quickly. And yeah, he is in a tough spot coming off the injuries. He did not shoot it well. The turnovers were alarming, I thought. I mean, a second-year guy at Summer League, you usually think those are the guys who, you know, the speed of the game is not going to be too fast for them. But it
might be, though, just the year off, because he was, a 5-year player and 1-year development. So he's like, he should be pretty polished.
I can give him a little pass there. What I did really like about Collin was how pesky he was.
He is pesky.
He had
pesky
8 steals in 3 games. 8 steals in 3 games. He had 4 steals last night.
Yeah, that's really good.
3 steals in the opener.
And some of them were really good steals. You know, like some of them were like on ball.
That's how most of them were.
Yeah.
Like pressuring his guy on ball, picking up 3/4 court, getting in passing lanes. And I never really thought of him as that kind of guy. But look, when your shot's not on, that's the kind of thing you've got to do to stand out. So I got to give him some credit for that part of his game.
Yeah, I loved that he got better. He really got better as Summer League went on. Like he, in this last game, the part that I was conscious for.
Really?
Well, in the last game that I was conscious for, the parts where you can tell me that I was wrong because I didn't have all the info. But he was getting steals, like you're saying, like the stuff.
The steals.
He picked a few guys, and like he just also was in passing lanes, and
he
was
finished the shot at the rim, which he didn't do in game 2, which is nice.
And you know, in the second game, he was actually like deadly from 3. Like he was
5-8.
Yeah, he was he's probably shot at the best of any Nugget in any game that game. So I really do feel like, you know, he was put in a position because he didn't have any time in the NBA last year. It's like there's no chance, there's no way to get better just from watching it. There's an idea.
He was just recovering.
Yeah, there's an idea of like, you know, you understand like what the job entails and so how to handle your business, but you know, you can't possibly understand what it's going to be like until you play. And so I actually am encouraged by Collin, but I would be surprised if he makes it past being like a two-way player for the Nuggets.
I would too at this point. I'd be surprised if he becomes a guy for the Nuggets from where we sit right now.
Stock up or stock down?
I'm down.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I guess, I mean, in that way,
I have to be down because a year ago I was like, man, I could really see him being the backup point guard.
I did think that he was the second coming of Chris Paul coming out. So from that standpoint, maybe we're talking about Suns Chris Paul. So in that
Chris
case,
Paul's never won anything either in his career.
You know what's funny though, man? Like he is Chris Paul's size, and we talk about him as being small. And it's same with Jalen Pickett. He's Andre Miller's size.
Yeah.
It's like so funny that we're like, I don't know if he's big enough. It's like Andre Miller played a long time.
You look at Collin next to Jalen Pickett, and like Jalen Pickett looks like an NBA player.
He's just strong. He's
Collin
tighter.
Looks small.
It's about the look. Collin, get a headband.
Oh man, what would Collin's look be?
Please don't.
No, Jalen makes it work. What would Collin's look be?
No, you know what Collin needs to do is become like Chris Mullen. He needs to go.
All East Coast,
He's
little
a
flat top.
hardcore East Coast guy. Or
mustache? What about a little mustache?
He could wear Michael Malone's chain.
Looks like a cop almost if he has a flat top.
He needs to go full East Coast guy.
Collin needs to be slap the floor on defense guy.
Yes, dude. Right now he's got a little John Stockton. He's too relaxed in the look.
Yeah.
Like I was like, no, you got to go East Coast hardo.
You know what? No, he looks like Tebow. I think he needs to go that way.
Religion?
Inspirational. Yeah. We need
Pivot to religion?
We need to go Full Tebow, man. Be an inspiration to
Hey,
him.
man, somebody will always sign you if that's your thing.
Yeah, we're like, guys, don't bother him. He's Gillespieing right now.
He's Gillespieing. Like, this can be the Gillespieing.
Don't bother him. Like, don't crowd
We
him.
solved it, man. I'm back in on him. Let's go. All right, final break on the other side. P-Watt, the last and the most important. Save the best for last.
Guys, Shady Rays, it is so sunny out. I mean, I thought we would maybe get a little, a little break from the sun, getting back to Colorado after Vegas. Nope, 95 degrees yesterday, 90 degrees today.
I'm for this.
You're for the Earth dying. Okay, off you go, Harrison.
You can take on global warming and the sun with gear built to last.
Wasn't expecting that one.
Our friends at Shady Rays, they've got you covered. Use code DNVR for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by 250,000 people. If you go to shadyrays.com, just scroll their website. They have so many different designs, no matter what kind of style of glasses you wear. Shady Rays has you covered. They also have a store in Park Meadows Mall if you want to go check them out in person. ShadyRays.com. Use the code DNVR for 50% off.
Whoa, what?
2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Rated 5 stars by 250,000 people.
Buy yourself a sweet-looking pair of shades and slide one over to the lady.
I'm gonna be wearing Shady Rays today down at Top Taco. If you're at Top Taco, come say hi.
Shout out. I might make an appearance too.
I'm gonna be eating a disgusting amount of tacos.
I mean,
Do they have margs too?
They have margs. They got it all. I'm telling you.
I will say, having eaten with you many meals now, any number of tacos is disgusting.
Yeah. Also, guys, Backs and Shankers here to help if you get hurt. Helping those seriously injured in Colorado for more than 25 years. Backs and Shanker wins for Colorado families. They've won over $1 billion for their clients. They also have neighborhood offices in Denver, Aurora, Englewood, and Fort Collins. So no matter where you're located across the Front Range, Backs and Shanker, they probably have an office, but they definitely have lawyers and staff members to help you out. 30 lawyers, more than 100 staff members at Backs and Shanker. Backs and Shanker helps with all kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault, car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrian trucks. They can even help you if you're injured at work. Give them a call, 222-2222, to find out if you have a case for free. Backs and Shanker wins.
Alrighty, the last guy we're going to be breaking down today, Peyton Watson. Let me give you guys the stat line. He goes for 19 points a game in his 2 games. He only played 2. I kind of get the sense that he might be shut down. I mean,
I think he shut down.
He aged out of Summer League.
I believe he's shut down.
They had 2 days off going into yesterday's game, so it wasn't like they needed extra rest or anything. So
they're like, we got to get eyes on Funk. We got to get P-Watt out of the
guy.
league.
How did we single this guy out, man?
We got to get Mark Smith some extra looks at the rim.
Yes. Oh, man. His back-to-back volleyball block shots was like, that was the low point. Twice in a row, he goes to the rim.
To be fair to Funk, it's just that his name is Funk. It's hilarious.
Well, also, maybe Taz Sherman can get some minutes to get some run this next game.
We're off the rails.
Still waiting for that.
Peyton Watson, 19.
Taz Whittington.
Taz Whittington. I can't believe I screwed up Greg Whittington last night.
I actually can't believe you screwed that up.
I can't do it. It's Greg, not Mark.
Mark Whittington.
Peyton Watson, 19 points per game. Shot 52% from the field. Now, he did just make 1 3 out of 5 attempts, 20%. But he kind of got a little bit of other stats. 3.5 rebounds, a little lower than I would have liked to have seen. He did go for 1.5 steals, 1.5 blocks. Peyton Watson played hard. He had moments of pop. I'm well publicized that I'm a little bit more mixed on his game, I think, than some people, but the skill set is really there. It's just a question of how quickly can he get to the parts of his skill set, how quickly can he unlock them. I think he has a lot of development ahead. And he, of all the players on the real Nuggets, I think is in a tight spot. He needs to develop, but he can't be an anchor on the team. Mm-hmm. It's a tough spot to be in. I don't know after watching these 2 games if I feel better. I don't think I feel worse, but I don't think I also feel better about Peyton Watson and what role he'll play with the Nuggets. But that's just kind of my read. I mean, he still remains to me an enigma heading into training camp.
I expected him to dominate Summer League. That's what I went to Summer League thinking. Peyton Watson should dominate. Second-year guy. You know, he looked okay in Summer League last year. I thought he looked pretty good for not really playing in college. Then, you know, he has the spurt at the end of the season. You're like, okay, like this could be a guy. I wouldn't call what he did at Summer League dominant, though. I don't think he dominated. He absolutely flashed, though. Yeah, he absolutely showed the upside and showed how he can make a big impact on the Nuggets next season. And I liked what I saw mostly, in 2 games, but I'd agree, man. I think there is still some uncertainty there in terms of like, can this guy be Christian Braun of next year?
Right.
I think that's still up for debate. Is he a player? Yes, I think he is. Is he going to be a player in this league? Absolutely, 100%, I think. But like next year, can he be Christian Braun? I don't know yet.
So he said he's more of a flasher than a dominator. What do you think?
I would say both are a minimum misdemeanor. I agree, though. There is a difference between flashing and dominating. There is like flashing is potential. Dominating means realized potential. We didn't see him be as dominant as you mentioned, as I expected. I really thought he was just going to just decimate Summer League. We've seen players that are decimating Summer League, and he's not amongst them.
But he did make it on the too good for Summer League list, though.
But this is kind of one of these things where you're like, am I too close to this?
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like,
possibly.
Because other people...
I've thought about this a lot myself.
Other people looking in are able to see him as a Summer League player. Right. And it's like, we're like, can he be our starting one?
We need him to be the backup. I mean, that's, I think, a lot of it is we are carrying the baggage of what does he need to be? He kind of needs to be the Nuggets' 7th man. Yeah. Christian the 6th. He needs to be the 7th.
But in that way, like last year, that was what, Jeff Green? Can he do what Jeff Green did, which is like
last year it was Christian Braun.
But okay, so let's say he takes that spot. Maybe it opens up to an 8-man, whatever. Point being, like, is he able to do at least replicate the production we got out of a guy that we thought was reasonable on the production end for the Denver Nuggets that was enough to get them a title? Can he do what Jeff Green did? Yes, easily, no question. He could be such an improvement on that.
He could be significantly better than Jeff Green next
like
season.
The amount of
he should be.
Just like from a defensive standpoint in Summer League, I was like, he's kind of getting blown by more than I would like, more than I would expect. Sometimes he's a little flat-footed, like. I don't know that that's going to be a thing that he is tasked with. Like, more often than not, I feel like I didn't rewatch, but like I felt like he was matched up against a smaller, faster guy in those instances. But the larger point is this, like, Peyton Watson looked poised. Peyton Watson looked like a guy. Peyton Watson looked like he was very comfortable with the attention being on him. He made some ridiculous plays in Summer League that were like, bro, you can never do that again with a Nuggets uniform on.
Or else you're going to get, like, shut down from Summer League.
Like, Michael Malone will shut you down so fast if you try to do that ISO or if you pull up and shoot that. Like, I still don't know what he does on offense. I still have no idea. I don't feel good about his shot at all. I do feel good about him as a slasher and a finisher to a point.
Me too.
But like, his shot doesn't mean anything to me at this point. Like, and I hope that either he develops it more or we just move away from it entirely. Like, there's guys that you just don't shoot from outside, But I mean, there's nothing that I saw that deterred me from the idea that Peyton Watson is destined to be a defensive, like.
Playmaker.
At least, he's going to be a guy that you and a playmaker.
Defensive playmaker is different than like defensive stopper.
Yes,
I think he's a defensive playmaker.
Right, steals, blocks, runouts.
A super athletic, defensive-minded guy can be just as valuable as an offensive-minded one.
Because Christian Braun is, I think, probably both, but he's mostly a good. He's going to guard guys, man. He's going to shut them down and bottle them up. KCP's that way. I think Peyton Watson will be more of a disruptor. Bruce Brown was a disruptor more than a shutdown guy.
Yeah,
and I think Peyton's more of that.
Totally, yeah.
So I think all things considered, there were some good things here. The pressure is going to be on him. One thing I do wonder is last year, I think going into the year, he knew you're a redshirt year, man. We're going to bring you along. You got the first round draft pick. Everything's like perfect. This year, I imagine he's thinking, I'm going to play and I'm going to be a guy and I'm going to have an opportunity and I have self-belief that I'm going to become a key piece. The way Christian Braun won the adoration of the Nuggets fan base and everything, that's going to be me next year where I'm the guy everybody's hyped for with a little added dose of he has more potential than Christian Braun, we all think. I mean, because he has some of the
more athleticism.
Yeah, longer, all those different things.
More physical gifts.
So I think he is anticipating that. And I am curious to see what happens inevitably whenever there's ups and downs to that. There'll be moments when that's actualized, but there'll also be moments when it's like, why did I only play 6 minutes tonight? Why didn't I get to go back in the second half? Is it because I had 3 turnovers and now I can't ever do that again? And I want to see how he handles that, because I'm very impressed with Peyton Watson, the guy. Talking to him at Summer League and even talking to the people around, I'm very impressed. I think he's very mature.
Also very impressed.
So Snoop Dogg, well, I guess we'll talk about that tomorrow.
He's on the Martha Stewart level, dude.
He really is on the Martha Stewart level. No, but I'm impressed with him and how he carries himself, but he hasn't quite hit the adversity yet, in my opinion, that he's going to hit this next year. It's going to be a roller coaster for him, and I'm very curious to see how he handles it.
Yeah, me too.
All right, let's do it. Stock up or stock down on P-Watt?
I'm up.
I am perfectly sideways on this one.
You're just pointing both at me.
I'm Eric.
I'm up. I'm up because I can see it. Like, I can see how what he did at Summer League is directly translating to what he's going to be asked to do for the Nuggets next season.
I anointed myself
I can see the vision.
the number one P-Watt propagandist. So,
Really? Number one?
Yeah, you've stolen this from
Yeah.
me.
I know. I love how Eric just
Over the
claims
course of the last
anything.
2
Like,
weeks.
that's my guy. He's a Jamal
I'm the-
Murray
he's
guy.
almost-
He's
At
almost
the
as bad
very-
as you at
the
claiming
very
my
end.
guys.
No,
At least I confessed that
I'm not
I
the
forgot.
Jamal Murray guy. I'm the Jamal Murray guy on this podcast. Everybody knows it. I claimed it loudly. But so from that standpoint, like, my propaganda campaign might turn down a little bit. Like, I am a little bit down from expecting like what you and I both expected for him to just be like a absolute beast in Summer League, which I do not think he was, but I am very comfortable with him as a Nuggets
I saw a
player.
comment somewhere. I don't know if it was Twitter or Reddit, but you know how there's always the people on there that have conspiracy theories.
What?
Conspiracy theories.
On the internet?
When I said when I comped Pickett, Jalen Pickett to Jokic and just said I love, and Andre Miller and all these different guys, I saw somebody like tag me or something saying like, Adam just parrots whatever he hears from the Nuggets and then just says it or this or that.
No, he
I
does
will-
not.
No, I do not. And here I'm going to give you an example. I told somebody at Summer League with the team that I was TBD on Peyton Watson, meaning I just don't know. I still have some things. The response was, "Are you effing blind?"
Yeah.
Guess what grade I gave him today, though? TBD. That's why I said both arrows, because
Oh,
to me,
boy.
I'm still like on
Take
the
that
fence about
mystery
him.
person from the Nuggets.
So I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
I'll say the Nuggets definitely think they saw what they needed to see from P-Watt at Summer League.
for sure.
if we played this game with them, they'd be like 20 arrows upwards. You
Yeah.
know, they really like what they see. So I'm TBD, and I can't wait to be told how wrong I was. I hope so. I'm in a win-win right now, because if he's good, that's
Yeah, you
great.
really
for
are
me.
just hedging every bet here.
Hedge every bet, baby. That's how you do it. We got a couple super chats, Gil. Who wants to read? I kept
Thomas
turn
Shutter, Jets, welcome back. Just
It's
received
actually
the Golden
fellas,
Era
but-
book. Some shirts and stickers in the mail. Thanks for all the amazing work. The car is looking real smug now up
Hell
here
yeah, dude.
in
Western
New
New
York.
Let's go. I love that.
All
I
the
love
Nuggets are
that.
good.
I love that.
Love it.
Turns out, though, we've opened up. If the Summer League is part of the Nuggets, we might have to amend the sentence.
Okay.
Not every Nugget
all
is
Nuggets
good
are
at this exact moment in time.
Yeah. TBD on Taz Sherman, maybe. Like we don't know. Maybe.
We just don't know. We don't have all the information.
Joe in Philly, what up, Joe? Booty ball does sound kind of silly. I'm going with Tushy ball.
Oh yeah.
Way worse.
That's way. Tushy is definitely
Way
sillier
worse.
than Booty.
Funky Puma, top talker for the win. See you at Westminster City Park. Yeah, see you there, man.
We'll see you there. Everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. Throw us a like on the way out.
This is my first time in the Studio B. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's good in here. Except for it's hot.
I remember my first time in Studio B.
Let's go.
It was last month.
Good stuff, boys.